Hey, YouTube, Rumble, welcome back to the Bass Piper channel. Hey guys, I'm sitting here in my garage that I've started to clean up a few days ago. If you hear sirens, we got those sounding off in town. But I couldn't get but so far on my garage. Miss Bass Piper's going to help me tomorrow. There's a lot of Christmas stuff and stuff over here. You can see the red boxes and all this stuff. We're going to try to get some of it up in the air. I feel like Doug Curmudgeon Piper, most of the time when he starts his videos, that's when the sirens start happening. Hey, by the way, before I get started into the video, I won't try to keep you very long today. I'm smoking a no-name band, but this is a Coco Chemist by Zeal Cigar. It's a Toro size, and it is holding up to its name. Look how that thing is burning. Nice and even there. Got a good burn. These are about $6 sticks, but they're made from some of the main companies. I don't know who makes it for them, but from what I understand, you can't get these anymore. That's usually Bass Piper's luck. If there's something that I find that I like, they stop making it. But I think Bradley at Zeal Cigar said they can't get them anymore. They're not making them anymore. I want to call him and make sure I heard him right. But I am in the process of trying to get the garage cleaned up, and hopefully by tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, my son's coming over, and hopefully I can get him to get all of this. I got an electronic drum set that I've had up in the attic for several years, because I just didn't have time to play them. And I had a nephew that was going to look at buying them, but that went south, so I had my son bring all this stuff down. Now it's got to go all back up, because me and Bass Piper don't climb the attic ladder in here anymore, simply because of our age and our size. The last thing we want is a fall from about 10 feet up in the air on a concrete slab. I've already had my share of concrete slabs a few weeks ago. So I have a 37-year-old son that's more agile than his mom and daddy are these days. So that's kind of where we're at. I got a couple of bicycles I'm going to get rid of. And so, we just got to get everything back intact here. And so we're going to work on that. I started doing some things the other day, but I got to a point where I had to stop because I had to get Miss Bass Piper involved with stuff to know what goes up in the air and what stays down. So anyway, that's what we're doing. But just want to get on here. We got a rainy day here in Virginia. Most of you guys that live in this path of this storm that was coming through, this rain and all this mess, knows what I'm talking about. And we had some heavy downpours this morning around 6:30, 7 o'clock. But it's clearing up now. I think the storm is just about out of here now. We're just soaked. So I'm going to try tomorrow to cut the grass. I was going to do it today before I knew all this rain was coming. But we're going to get the grass cut. And I went and put 100%, what we call 100% nitrogen 2 weeks ago on my front lawn. And it's growing. And it's greening up. In fact, it's gone nuts out here with my grass. But that's a good thing. I like to keep about a 2.5, 3-inch height on it, where it's looks like a carpet when it gets going. I've got a combination. I was going till these things happened at the church and all this mess, and I lost my salary for right now, and everything went south at the church. I was planning on having the guys come in this well February or so and burn up and round up all of my front yard and the sides, and I was going to replant one type of grass seed. Base Piper's got a combination of the Kentucky 31 tall fescue, not Kentucky 31, but it's the tall fescue. It's a better grade than a K31. But then I've also got St. Augustine. St. Augustine looks just like crabgrass, almost. But it makes a pretty grass. It just don't grow very high. So I got a combination of the fescue and the St. Augustine. So right now, as spring is here and things are going, I got patches where the tall fescue isn't growing because I wanted to just go over the grass with tall fescue, go over the yard with tall fescue, and it took mostly, but there's spots where it didn't take unless it just starts to spread out here in a few months. I got my irrigation system going, and got a problem with a couple of heads. I got to get my man that does irrigation take a look at. My system's been in under the ground for 19 years now, and I got some of the original heads that need to be replaced, and we got everything is now just got so discombobulated. Hey, Betty. Discombobulated that I had a neighbor walk by walking her dog. Um, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was going to get the irrigation guy to take a look at these heads because I'm going to have to replace some heads in the yard, backyard in the front. So we're on about a half acre, and that's enough for me right now to have to upkeep. And so it keeps us pretty busy. And so anyway, I'm hoping he can get over here in the next couple of weeks and get the heads fixed so we can get even sprinklerization going on in the yard, and get everything even. And but it's doing pretty good. I just have a couple of heads. They wanna pop up when they feel like it. So I know that's usually the time when something's getting ready to go. When we got sandy soil a little bit over on this side, used to be an old peanut farm many years ago when they started developing houses and putting out acre tract lots and stuff years ago. So the sand takes a toll on those plastic heads, especially the rainbird heads and all of that. So I've got to replace them with stainless steel heads. And Hunter is what I put in. I put in the Hunter system. And but some of my heads I've had to switch out to the plastics because Hunter has a heavier spring and it takes a little bit more force to pop them up, where the rainbirds have a little bit easier spring. And the older my well is getting, the pressure is not like it was 20 years ago. So it's starting to die down a little bit. So I'm having to have some stainless and some new plastic heads of rainbird replacing the Hunters. So anyway, so we got the storm out the way, and I thought we'd come out here today and just try one. I haven't had one of these Zeal cigars. Man, this is true to what it says. It tastes just like you get a cocoa nuance from these. And I'm gonna tell you guys, like I've told you before, anybody who wants to look at trying cigars or that type of thing, the cheaper cigars, they tend to be the best smoking cigars. The burn. Look at the burn on this thing. It's burning even. It's not, you might get a little bit of canoe starting to happen right there, but nothing where it's peeled back. I mean, they burn good. They have a good flavor. So like I've tried to say, you don't have to, I got a thing that come right in the middle of my video. You don't have to break the bank to have good cigars and long fillers. You know, most cheaper cigars, they're known by the short filler or what they call the Cuban sandwich that's chopped up, almost like pipe tobacco. They have like a short and long combination, that type of thing, you know, where all premium cigars are known for its long fillers. But good smoking cigar and tastes good. Not repulsive, not pungent, you know. So anyway, I thought I would come out here and just chillax for a minute. I got my message ready for Sunday, and everything's ahead of schedule with that. We start our new Wednesday night service next Wednesday at the clubhouse. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not. Some of y'all have been keeping up with me and my new church. We had a Baptist church to donate 57 hymn books to our church and the piano copy for the pianist. So that was an answer to prayer. Uh, on average, a new hymn book runs around $15 a book. So we're talking about $855, $900 range, and it saved the church right off the bat just for that one simple donation. And the books are like brand new. I think they got them and they used them for about a year to a year and a half. And they went to the screens. And so they don't use hymn books. So we were fortunate enough to get those. God looked out for us to get those into the church. So we're thankful for that. But things are going fine. Things are going pretty smooth and steady right now. We did have a little church that we thought we were going to be able to share, but that's not going to work out because of the church members that we would lose. I got some church members, I think I told you, that's got some livestock. They have an alpaca farm. They raise alpacas. In fact, they are champion alpacas. This couple has won champion over champion over championship with their alpacas, and they go to New York. They go all over the place to these shows. In fact, I was over there just a couple of weeks ago. Me and one of my deacons at the church was helping them as they were shearing them all for the summer. They were taking all the it's not fur, but it's their coating off of them, and that was interesting to watch. And so, and they have cows and they have different things, cattle and stuff. And so they have to feed their livestock. And the way we were going to be able to work the church times, it was either an 8:30 slot or a 12:30 slot, and that just wasn't going to work. And the last thing you need for a new work is to lose people. You need all hands on deck. You need everybody you can find to get a new work off the ground. So, it wasn't going to cost us a thing to have it. We didn't even have to pay for it, help out with any utilities. But it just wasn't the right, I got to get positioned here, just wasn't the right time slot for us. So, but God knows, we're going to have to find a building that we could rent or somebody that would work with us. Maybe we can get a hold of like a Ruetan building or something, and we got in the area, we got some hunt clubs that we might be able to use a building there, or just try to find one we can rent, and then prayerfully and as God leads, we can find a piece of land. I'd like to find somewhere between 3 to 5 acres to get started, and then maybe we could look at a modular building or something to put on there to get started. But all that will come in time. But everything is going well there. So I appreciate the praying kind. Been praying for the church and for me. And me and Bass Piper has been through this before. You got some churches that you're either resigning from or you are voting out. You're getting voted out. And I was standing my ground that they had to vote me out because I was not going to desert my good people. And, it's sad that our churches some of them have got in the state they're in. But I'm just going to be honest with you, as I've mentioned before, when you got carnal Christians or carnal people, it's kind of hard to call some of them Christian and attach the word carnal to them. But there is some that's in a backslidden state. There's some I find this more in country churches than I do the city churches, because country churches are more family oriented, and they run in packs and clans, Hatfields and McCoys, so to speak. That's a good one for you, Doc, if you watch this video. Speaking of the Hatfields and McCoys. But Doc, you know what I mean and some of you guys know what I'm talking about. But this is why Paul said to keep the church purged. That is one of the main problems in our churches today. There is no excommunication being done much. And when you have people that you get into your church that become disgruntled, that they are causing strife, division, discord, malice, just a pot stirring type of people, you got to get them out of there. You got to vote them out. You got to get them out. Because if you let them stay, you end up in the situation that bass piper ended up in at this church. And they come in and they Shanghai and they do whatever they got to do to get the preachers out. And these kinds of people, they don't want a leader. And they want to lead the ship. Well, that's unscriptural from the very beginning. That's why you have preachers and pastors. So it ends up being a mudslinging contest. But as I said before, without going over any more about it, it's just, God worked it out and we're blessed. And we're moving forward. We haven't missed a beat. So, anyway, I just want to get on here, and I was going to tell you, if you haven't tried the Coco Chemist, to give it a shot, but I don't, but I don't think you can get them anymore. And so they're not bad sticks for the money. And I was debating between grabbing a New World Connecticut by AJ Fernandez today, and something just told me, no, grab one of these Coco Chemist. And I gave my son a couple of these for Christmas, along with some AJ Fernandez, and I think I gave him some Rough Rider sweets and different things to try. He was getting into some cigars, so I let him try some. And anyway, guys, I'm going to get on out of here, and you guys have a great weekend. And beard is coming in slowly, and I wasn't blessed like some of you guys, man, that have chia pets. You start growing yours, and in 2 days it's like pow. Bass pipers, his takes about it's growing like my age. You get slower. It takes about 4 to 5 weeks to really get it, and then all this a little bit of darkies out, all turn white, and I just got the white beard now. So, but anyway, I think I'm gonna rock my beard. I've tried it different ways. I'll either rock my beard or rock my Van Dyke. I don't think I'll go back clean shaven. Of course, if you ask Miss Bass Piper, she'll say, yeah, right. You got 3 ways: your Van Dyke, your beard, or clean shaven. And so, who knows? But I think I'm going to rock my beard for a while. And save on it's a good time to do it. Save on blades and razors. So, guys, we'll talk with you later. Y'all have a great weekend. And oh, I've almost forgot a new presenter. A new presenter. Uh, the the trucking piper. The trucking piper. His name is Doug. I failed to mention that yesterday with the other ones I mentioned, the other two presenters. The trucking piper. Get over there and show him some love, Doug. He's a lot of times he's doing his videos from his truck. And John, the bearded Welshman, you can relate to him, man. You're an ex-truck driver. But the guy's name's a trucking piper, and check him out and see what you think. I think he's going to be okay. Hey, he's even got a bass piper voice, man. He talks down here, and so he's got a good he's got a good bass voice too. Me and him can relate. So anyway, you guys have a great weekend. Don't forget, relax, have a pipe or your cigar, and don't forget the blessings God gives us each and every day. You guys take care. Bye bye.